One of the greatest relics of Christianity is the Spear of Destiny, which was once used to pierce Jesus Christ. Mystical properties were attributed to this spear, giving its owner supernatural abilities. The Spear of Destiny also became widely known thanks to conspiracy theories that tried to link it with the occult activities of the Third Reich. The owner of the spear acquired the opportunity to influence the course of world history and lead entire nations. This was the weapon of real leaders. Legends say that at different times it was owned by the Frankish king Charlemagne, the leader of the Visigoths, Alaric, and even the founder of Byzantium, Emperor Constantine. The history of the Spear of Destiny begins in 33 AD. Biblical legend says that then its owner was the Roman centurion Longinus, who later became a saint, in whose honor the spear is sometimes called the Spear of Longinus. It was the duties of this centurion that included the crucifixion of Christ, which Longinus later regretted, and even helped cleanse the body of Jesus when he was taken down from the cross. According to Roman tradition, shortly after the crucifixion, the legs of the victim were broken to hasten the onset of death. A man with broken legs could no longer lift his body to breathe and quickly died from suffocation caused by an uncomfortable position. However, in the case of Christ, the victim stopped showing signs of life even before the moment when the legs usually begin to be broken. Therefore, the Roman legionnaires decided to check whether he died. And then the centurion Longinus pierced the side of Jesus with his spear, and from the wound of Christ, as the legend says, blood and water poured out. Christian theologians saw this as one of the miracles. The blood here symbolized the human principle of Christ, and the water, the divine principle. In the Catholic Mass in honor of this event, water and wine are still mixed to this day, and many theologians consider the spear blow to be the real cause of Jesus' death. One way or another, it was thanks to this act that the Spear of Fate became a famous religious artifact, and the high significance of Christ's wound made it possible to believe that the spear itself has amazing properties. Later legends trace the history of the spear to Phineas, the great-nephew of Moses. It was believed that he ordered the forging of the Spear of Destiny as a symbol of God's chosenness for the Jewish people. Joshua, another iconic figure of the Old Testament, later led the troops with the same spear. But the last owner, from whom the spear passed to the centurion, was the king of Judea, Herod the Great himself, who first tried to kill Jesus when he was an innocent baby. The fate of the relic is hidden in the fog. Where the spear went after the death of Longinus is not known for certain, but periodically, according to various legends, it surfaced during various historical events that were of great importance for Christianity. It is reported that the spear was in the hands of Constantine the Great when he led his troops in the decisive battle at the Milvian Bridge. Then Constantine managed to defeat the 120,000-strong army, which included the elite Praetorian Guard. The result of this battle was the proclamation of Christianity as the state religion in the empire, and Constantine himself became the Roman emperor. Then the Spear of Fate falls into the hands of Alaric, the Westgothian king, who led the invasion of barbarian hordes into Greece and Italy, ruining the Roman Empire and even capturing the Eternal City, Rome. From Alaric, the spear passes into the hands of another Visigothic king, Theodoric I, who managed to stop the most terrible and seemingly invincible threat to the European peoples. In the battle on the Catalonian fields, Theodoric led an army of Christian peoples, consisting of the Visigoths, Romans, Franks, and Burgundians, towards the countless hordes of Attila, the leader of the Huns, who by that time had conquered almost all of Europe and was very close to Gaul. In this battle, the united army managed to defeat the pagans of Attila, but Theodoric himself said goodbye to his life in it. Somewhat later, the Spear of Fate appeared in Justinian, the Byzantine emperor, who managed to recapture Italy from the barbarians and again unite most of the Roman lands, but this time under the command of Constantinople. The legends then passed the spear into the hands of Charles Martel, the Frankish king who united the warring Germanic tribes in the face of a terrible threat from the south, the invasion of Muslim invaders. In a place known as Poitiers, the heart of modern France, in 732, he won a decisive victory, clutching a sacred relic in his hands. Of the other owners of the Spear of Fate, it is worth noting Charlemagne, who united Western and Central Europe, creating the Carolingian dynasty, which would reign throughout Europe for 1,000 years. And also Frederick Barbarossa, Holy Roman Emperor and one of the main initiators of the First Crusades, ended with the formation of Christian states in the Holy Land. If we talk about our time, then now several relics claim to be the Spear of Destiny. The most famous of them has been kept for several centuries in the Hofburg Castle, located in the Austrian lands. Therefore, otherwise, this spear is also called the Vienna spear. Curiously, a nail is inserted into the blade of the Vienna spear, which, according to legend, was one of those nails that was driven into the body of Christ. The fate of Adolf Hitler is also connected with the Vienna spear. At the very beginning of the 20th century, when Hitler was not yet thinking about big politics, but wanted to be a simple artist, he came to Vienna to enter the Academy of Arts. But he failed the entrance exams and began wandering around the city, visiting different places, until he ended up at the Hofburg Castle Museum, where the Spear of Destiny caught his eye. Then follows the legend that at that moment Adolf Hitler fell into a state of some kind of trance. Allegedly, at that moment a magical revelation descended on him, which changed his future fate. The next time he visited Hofburg Castle was in 1938. Many of the top leaders of the Third Reich are present with him. It was there, standing next to the Spear of Destiny, that Hitler announced the completion of his mission and the entry of Austria into the German Reich. Subsequently, on the personal instructions of the Führer, the spear is taken to the German city of Nuremberg, where it will remain until the very end of the war. However, no matter what importance Hitler attached to the spear, modern researchers have nevertheless established that it had nothing to do with the crucifixion of Christ, but was created in the early Middle Ages. Other relics claiming to be the Spear of Destiny also have no reliable confirmation. Therefore, the fate of this weapon remains unknown. Thanks to everyone who watched this video to the end. To find out about the latest releases, you just need to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and give it a thumbs up. See you soon.